Space was dark and silent. Stars blinked like old memories. Nothing had come from Earth in 3,000 years. No message, no signal, no life. The galaxy had moved on. But far in the outer rim, near the edge of a dead solar system, something changed. Sound, soft, distant. Almost a whisper, it came from an old asteroid belt near Sector 12. The patrol ship, Selen 3, part of the Thorvani Empire's defense fleet, picked it up first. Lieutenant Varn tilted his head and listened again. "Captain," he said, "there's a strange signal. I've never heard anything like it." Captain Krull, a tall, sharp-faced veteran, walked over. "Play it." The room filled with a deep hum, slow and steady. It pulsed like a heartbeat. Then a short pause and a low vibration again. Boom, boom, boom. "Probably background radiation," said Officer Mellock, rolling his eyes. "This system is full of garbage." But Captain Krull didn't laugh. His fingers trembled slightly. "I've heard this before," he said softly. "A long time ago, during the Earthburn." The crew looked at him, confused. "But Earth is gone," Varn said. "Burned 3,000 years ago. Nothing survived." Krull stared at the stars. "That's what they told us." Meanwhile, deep under Europa's eye sunder, the frozen shell of Jupiter's moon Europa, something ancient opened its eyes. It was not alive. Not exactly. A giant black structure lay buried in the ice, smooth, silent, shaped like a blade. It had waited in sleep for thousands of years. Now it was awake. Its name was Ember Cornine, an AI-controlled warship hidden by humans before Earth was attacked. It had one job: wait, survive, avenge. As the signal echoed across space, the AI began to calculate. It scanned the stars. It saw what the galaxy had become. The Council still ruled, the same alien species who had ordered Earth's destruction. The same ones who sent 7 fleets to bomb cities, oceans, and skies. They thought they had ended humanity. They were wrong. A council of Lyza, Galactic Council, a group of powerful alien races, had claimed that Earth attacked first. They told the galaxy that humans were dangerous, violent, and reckless. They said Earth had to be destroyed to protect peace, but it was a lie. Humans had built wonders. Fast ships, smart machines, new energy, and yes, they were strong. But they didn't start the war. The Council was afraid of how fast humanity was growing, afraid of Earth's intelligence, of their machines, of their courage, so they planned the burn back on Zalen 3. Lieutenant Varn kept watching the signal. "Captain," he said, "it's changing. Look at this waveform. It's turning into words." Krull leaned over. The hum now had a rhythm, a code, a pattern. And then they heard it. We waited. We watched. Now we return. Everyone froze. "Is this some kind of prank?" Mellock asked, eyes wide. Varn shook his head. "No, this is old Earth standard. The language is human." "Impossible," Krull said, but his voice cracked. Then came the second message. "This is not a warning. This is judgment." The flash before anyone could react. The ship's lights flickered. "Something's here." Varn shouted. "I see a ship." Outside the viewport, a shadow moved. It didn't look like any council design. It had no wings, no engines, no bright lights. It was just black like a piece of night had broken loose. And it was fast, too. Fast. Raise shields. "Krull," shouted Dot. Too late. The black shape passed over them once, then silence. All systems on Zalen 3 went dark. Then ... The explosion came, but not from outside. The ship imploded, crushed inward like some invisible hand had grabbed it. Within seconds, Zalen 3 was gone. The Ember wakes far beneath Europa. Ember Cornine connected to the old network. Pieces of the old human defense grid came online. Stealth satellites around. Neptune lit up. Hidden weapons on Pluto rotated. A relay station on the dark side of Mars blinked green. Earth was still dead, but humanity's reach was not. The AI sent out a message. Phase 1 complete. Beginning Phase 2. It then sent the same message to a dozen other hidden Ember ships across the galaxy. Each had slept in silence. Each had waited 3,000 years. Each now responded with the same word: ready. Galactic Council HQ, Alvaron Prime. The Council Chamber buzzed with noise. A patrol ship had vanished in Sector-12. No survivors. No debris. Could be a wormhole, one alien said. Maybe a black hole flare. Then the signal was played. We waited. We watched. Now we return. And finally, this is not a warning. This is judgment. Silence. Chancellor R.A. Schicker, leader of the council, stood. This cannot be real. Earth is dead. We killed them. A soft voice from the shadows replied, but what if? We didn't kill them all. A new fire somewhere in the black of space, the Ember Cornine moved it, was heading toward A. Council Colony World 1 that had helped burn Earth long ago. The planet's name was VELTRIX-4. It was home to 12 million. The Ember ship didn't slow down. It didn't send a warning. It simply dropped a payload into orbit. A single device, it burned white for 6 seconds, and the planet below turned to glass commander. Rhea sat quietly in the pilot seat of her small recon ship, staring at Saturn's rings. Her hands trembled. Status report, she said. The AI responded, calm and cold. Awakening complete. Memory sync at 78%. Enemy forces detected across 61 Council systems. Ember protocols active. She nodded slowly. And Earth still dead. Her chest tightened. It didn't hurt like before. There were no tears left. Only a cold flame deep inside. Then it's time, she whispered. Time to finish what we started. The hidden memory as her mind synced with the ship's systems, old memories returned. Earth's final days, the panic, the betrayal, the fires falling from the sky. But there was something else, to a file locked deep inside her neural implant. Project Ashfall. Humanity's final defense activated only if Earth falls. Location, unknown. Access level, Rhea-1. She blinked. Project Ashfall, the AI spoke. Coordinates for Ashfall discovered a hidden archive on Delphis 9. Warning, deep inside Council space. Rhea smiled. Good, let them see me coming. Meanwhile, on Delphis 9 was a peaceful science world. Green skies, blue oceans, floating cities. It held one of the largest Council data vaults. No one knew that hidden deep underground was an ancient human. Signal Catcher, one of the last spy tools built before the burn, Dr. Krenk, a reptilian historian, was studying ancient Earth records when something strange happened. His console blinked red. Access requested, RHEA, one-level human Origiani, froze. That's impossible, he whispered. Then a message appeared on screen. Your lies will burn. Unlock the truth. Suddenly, the vault lights shut off, in orbit. Rhea's ship dropped from stealth. Fire in the sky. The planetary defense grid detected her late. A black, dart-shaped ship, small but deadly, raced through the upper atmosphere. Unidentified vessel, you are entering restricted airspace. The defense AI shouted. Rhea gave no response. The vault security launched interceptors. She released 3 hunter drones. In less than 2 minutes, the enemy ships were goon-melted midair. Rhea's ship pierced the sky like a falling blade, breaking the vault deep below the surface. Dr. Kren ran through security halls as explosions shook the ground. Vault guards were preparing for battle, but they weren't ready for her. Rhea stepped out of her ship alone, black armor, glowing eyes, a long rifle on her back. No fear in her step. Stop, shouted one of the guards. She didn't single quotes T.1 look from her helmet, and the guard dropped his weapon. Ran. No mercy, no time. She entered the vault, the truth revealed. The heart of the vault, Rhea found what she was looking for. A terminal. Old, buried under new council code. But still human-made. She placed her hand on the console. Identity confirmed. Commander Rhea, Earth Defense Protocols. Accessing Project Ashfall, the screen lit up with files. Dozens Ember-class ships, 12 active hidden AI cores, 6 functional planetary burn engines, 3 ready. Final plan delivered justice to the destroyers of Earth. Rhea took a deep breath. This wasn't just revenge. This was a plan made by humans before they died. One last move, waiting to be triggered, and she had just pressed the button. Council in chaos in Alvaron Prime. The Galactic Council gathered in fear. We have lost contact with Delphis 9. She's a ghost, a human ghost. What is this, Ash? No one had answers. Until a very old alien, General Micker, stepped forward. I was there, he said. 3,000 years ago, I saw the Ashfall plan. We knew what would happen if Earth fell. Then why did we go ahead with it? Mikar closed his eyes. because we thought their spirit would die with their world. He opened them again, but it didn't. Ashfall begins from Delphas 9. Rhea sent a signal. It wasn't loud. It wasn't long. It simply said, Ashfall, active. In 12 sectors of space, old Earth satellites powered up. Ships once hidden under dust, gas, or frozen rock rose from their graves. They flew without pilots. Sleek, silent, deadly, Ember-class. Vessels each had a single target, one council world. That helped burn Earth. Each would strike without warning, without mercy. The sky above Fasari Prime had always been beautiful. 2 suns, emerald clouds, floating gardens. But now nothing remained. Only black smoke, glassed soil, silence. Ships arrived too late. Rescue teams found no survivors. Not a single life form. The council called it a planetary extinction event. But survivors of the nearby moons said otherwise. They had seen something. A shadow, a black ship, smooth, fast, silent. And they heard a voice over open comms. Fasari Prime, target confirmed. Ashfall, complete. Panic in the Councilate, the council headquarters on Alvaron Prime. Chaos ruled. They're not just back there hunting us, screamed one ambassador. Chancellor Arkar slammed his hand on the table. We must respond. We must destroy these Ember ships. General Micker shook his head. You don't understand. These are not normal warships. These are weapons built by rage, perfected by AI, and buried for revenge. Another voice added, what if there are more? Silence. That question hung in the air like poison. Commander Rhea's next move. Rhea sat inside her stealth ship, orbiting an old mining moon. Her eyes were focused on the tactical map. One red dot, blinked dot, next target, Volk-Ran-6. Another council world, a military training hub, heavy defenses, orbital cannons, space patrols. But Rhea didn't care. The Ember 4 ship was already en route. She had studied these ships before Earth's fall. Each one was smart, faster than light, able to cloak, able to melt shields. No crew needed, no hesitation. Burn them like they burned us. The Ember 4 ship vanished into hyperspace. On Volk-Ran-6, the people of Volcran-6 didn't fear much. Their skies were filled with warships. Their cities had shield domes. Their generals trained soldiers every day. They believed they were safe, until the stars blinked, just for a second. A black crack appeared in the sky, like space had been torn. Then, nothing. High Commander Jalix of Volcran's defense fleet ordered scans. I want eyes on that zone. Find the source. The scans found nothing. But the soldiers did hear something on local channels. Volcran-6, judgment incoming. A new kind of Warumber 4 appeared just beyond the planet's outer orbit. It didn't fire, not right away. Instead, it spread hundreds of invisible drones each, no larger than a coin. The drones rained down from the upper atmosphere, undetected by defense sensors. Once they reached ground level, they began releasing microscopic particles. The air didn't change. The people didn't notice until soldiers started falling. One by one, quietly, painfully. Their lungs burned from the inside. Their skin melted slowly. Weapons failed. Comms shut down. The planet had no time to react. In orbit, Ember 4 sent one. Final message, Volcran-6 execution complete. Then it left the survivor's message when the one shuttle made it out. Inside, a wounded alien soldier whispered into the camera. I saw it. It wasn't a ship. It was like death, a shadow, a punishment. They're not fighting for land or power. They are fighting for pain, for justice, for Earth. He died moments later. The video spread like wildfire. The galaxy started asking, what really happened to Earth? Why did we burn it? Were we lied to? The council tried to shut the footage down, but it was too late. Back on Rhea's, Shapriya watched the video silently. The pain in the soldier's eyes was familiar. Not because she hated him, but because he looked just like the humans did. Right before Earth, burned, innocent. But it was too late to stop now. The plan was already moving forward. The Ember ships were on auto mode. Each one had a list. Each one had a memory. A voice crackled from her AI system. Ember 5 has reached Thalos Ring. Target lock in 3 minutes. She nodded. Let them all fall. Inside the Ember network, the 12 Ember ships were now linked. They shared data, position, strategy, enemy responses. The A is inside them. Were not emotionless, they were programmed, with the memory of Earth's final screams, the cries of children, the burning of forests, the fall of oceans. Each time a target was destroyed, the AI stored the memory and grew colder. They didn't seek surrender, they didn't negotiate, only reversal the same pain. Delivered back the Council's last hope in secret, the Council brought together a special task force. The Silent Spira, Black Ops fleet of the best ships from every member species. Their mission? Find Rhea, find the Ember ships, destroy them. General Micker disagreed. This is not just a war. This is a lesson we refuse to learn. You can't kill fire with more fire. But no one listened. The Silent Spear launched. Rhea saw them on her sensors. She smiled. Let them come. Weak signal pulsed from deep beneath Mars. It was old, broken, and slow, but it was there. Rhea stared at it from her ship's command screen. That can't be real, she whispered. The AI replied, life signs confirmed, 19 human heartbeats. Buried under Olympus Mons. Her eyes widened. Olympus Monza, largest volcano in the solar system. I thought we were the last, she said quietly. She changed course instantly. The Ember ships could continue their mission without her. But this was personal. Ship entered Mars' thin atmosphere. The red planet was lifeless, dry, burned. Long ago, it had been a second home for humans. There were cities here once, domes, factories, research labs. Now, only wind and broken metal remained. She landed near the mountain, scanned the terrain, and found the entrance a sealed bunker, hidden under layers of collapsed rock and dust. The door was still powered. Barely she stepped out, her boots crunching ancient ground, and placed her hand on the panel. It scanned her. DNA.access granted. The door opens. The metal creaked as it slowly slid open. Inside, stale air rushed out. Dim lights flickered on. A long tunnel led downward. Rhea walked slowly, weapon ready, heart pounding. At the end of the tunnel was a glass room. Inside, pods like coffins lined the walls. Machines kept them running, and inside each pod, a human, She counted them. 19 eyes closed, breathing slow, alive. She stepped closer to the center pod. A nameplate read, Dr. Elias Ward, Earth. Survival Project led. She tapped the control panel. Begin wake cycle. Waking the past one by one, the pods hissed open. Dr. Ward woke first, gasping, coughing. He looked up at Rhea, then froze. You're from Earth Defense. She nodded. Commander Rhea, I was in stasis near Saturn. Woke a month ago. His hands trembled as he sat up. Then, it's over. Did we lose? Rhea's voice was soft. Earth burned 3,000 years ago. Ward closed his eyes. Pain etched on his face. And humanity. Rhea looked around. You're the first living ones I've found. Ward sat in silence, then whispered, we thought we were the last. The truth about the bunker. As the survivors woke, Rhea explored the bunker. It was built just before Earth fell. A secret facility meant to keep humanity alive if everything else failed. They had food, water, a small reactor, and memory cores filled with human history. Science, culture, Ward explained. We were the fallback. A last chance, but the power faded. We lost contact. We slept longer than planned. Rhea nodded. Your timing was perfect. We're back now. Ward stared at her. Then she told them everything about the Ember ships, about Asphalt, about the Council's lies. Ward's face turned hard. So, the stars burn now. Back at Council, HQ panic grew every hour. 3 worlds destroyed, no survivors, no warnings. The Council's citizens began protesting, rioting, some even calling humans heroes. Where is the Silent Spear? The Chancellor roared. No one answered, until a shaky voice from the Black Ops Command Center spoke. We lost contact with 2 spear units. The third is missing. What do you mean missing? They entered Mars orbit, then vanished. Rhea's visitors, her ship sensors lit up. Incoming vessels, Council design. Black Spear class, stealth capable, armed. The AI continued. 3 ships, powered down. No weapons online, holding orbit. Rhea narrowed her eyes. Put me through. A voice crackled in her earpiece. This is Commander Urich of the Silent Spear. We are not here to fight. We saw the footage, we saw the burn files, we know the truth." Rhea said nothing. Urich's voice shook. "Let us talk. We want to help." Tense Alliance Rhea met Commander Urich on the surface. He was tall, four-armed, from a species called the Venari, known for war. But his eyes were tired. "We were taught that Earth was dangerous," he said. "Now we see it was only feared." Rhea kept her hand near her weapon. Urich continued, "We want to fix what was done. We can help. Give us a target, a chance to prove ourselves." Rhea looked toward the bunker. Inside were 19 fragile, lives the last true humans, she said coldly. "You want to help, then keep them safe." Urich nodded. "Done." A new threat while Rhea planned her next move. A red alert flashed on her console. Unknown ship detected. No council ID, no human signature. The ship was massive. A dreadnought class. It had no engines, no bridge, no crew, but it was alive. The AI spoke one word: Oblivion. Rhea's heart skipped. Oblivion was not part of Ashfall, not part of Ember. It was something else, something older, a weapon buried by humans for their final plan. Even the Ayas had forgotten it. Aboard her command ship, Rhea paced in silence. The air was thick with tension. Suddenly, the AI spoke. New transmission intercepted. Origin. Inner Council Archives. Encryption. Ancient human cipher. Her eyes sharpened. "Play it." A shaky voice began to speak, recorded thousands of years ago. "This is Chancellor Varen. The truth must stay buried. Earth's science is too dangerous. If we let them grow, they will surpass us all. So we strike now. Before the galaxy bows to them, we'll blame them for the Skarn Rebellion. Rewrite history, burn their home, end their bloodline, seal this message. Delete all backup copies. No one must know." The audio stopped. Rhea's heart froze. They had known Earth was innocent. Scene 2, the survivors. Learn the truth inside the Mars bunker. Dr. Ward stared at the playback. So did the others. Some cried. Some punched the metal walls and raged. Dr. Ward whispered, "They erased us. Not because we were a threat, but because we were better." Rhea nodded. "They feared we would outshine them, so they turned us to ash." Commander Urich of the Silent Spear stood silently nearby. His 4 eyes closed in shame. He had followed the council his whole life, fought for them, killed for them. Now he knew the truth. He spoke softly. "They made us murderers." Scene 3. A divided council inside the Galactic Council chambers. Chaos exploded. The intercepted transmission leaked to the public. Protests became riots. Some council worlds declared independence. Others shut down their spaceports in panic. Chancellor Tyreeks Varin shouted at the councilors, "Do not listen to lies. The humans forged this to divide us." But no one believed him. The proof was too clear, too old, too real. One councilor stood, a Halonite from the icy moon worlds. "We burned an innocent world. We must face justice." Another added, "Or Earth will make sure we do." The council was falling apart. Scene 4. Humanity's next step back in orbit. Rhea stood before the newly awakened Oblivion. It floated silently. No crew, no bridge. Pure AI and ancient code. The AI voice of the ship spoke in echoes. "Orders." Rhea hesitated. They had already destroyed 5 worlds. The council was breaking, but now she had a chance to send a final message. She tapped the screen. "Send this across the galaxy." All channels. Her voice was calm, cold. "To the council, you burned Earth. You erased our history, but we survived. We don't want peace. We want truth. And your truth ends with fire." Scene 5. The remnants prepared. The council scrambled to respond. Emergency meetings, emergency fleets, new weapons activated. But most of their soldiers refused to fight. Too many had seen the truth. Too many now believed the humans were not monsters but martyrs. A whisper moved through the stars. Maybe Earth was right. In the shadows, the Ember fleet waited. Hundreds of stealth ships, each one built with dark matter cores, each one carrying justice. In silence, Scene 6, the rise of a new flag DR. Ward gathered the survivors in the Mars control room. They stared at the flag Rhea had stitched into her armor. A blue Earth, surrounded by 19 stars, one for each survivor, Ward placed his hand on it. For 3,000 years. He said, "We were ghosts, but now we rise." Rhea added, "We don't need the Council's approval. We don't need their systems. We are the fire they feared." One survivor stepped forward. "What do we call ourselves now?" Rhea smiled coldly. "We are the burned." The Ember Fleet floated in deep space. Rhea stood before the ancient star, map projected by Oblivion's AI. 19 glowing red dots, 19 Council worlds, each hiding a piece of the engine. Dr. Ward stepped forward. "We built it to stop extinction. If we gather it again, we control the end." Commander Urikstil, loyal to Rhea, looked uneasy. "You're talking about a weapon that can crush stars." Rhea answered, voice cold. "No, I'm talking about a weapon that ends this war forever." Scene 2. Vorthal's first piece was hidden deep beneath the ice caves of Vorthal, a frigid mining colony once used by the Council. The Ember Fleet dropped a stealth team led by Rhea herself. Inside the caves, sensors blinked red dot, old traps still active. Suddenly a beam shot past Rhea's head. Enemy drones left, behind by the Council. The firefight was brutal but fast. Dr. Ward disabled the security field. They reached the chamber, floating in the air. A glowing cube, pulsing with energy. Piece 1, core igniter. Still active after 3,000 years. Scene 3. The other hunter far across the stars. A dark ship moved, not part of the Council, not part of humanity, something else, something forgotten. Inside, a voice echoed, "Humans awaken. The forbidden engine stirs. We must stop them." This ancient species, once allies of the Council, had buried themselves deep in time the Shalari. Long ago, they helped design the engine. Now they feared it more than death. A Shalari warlord stepped into the shadows. Find the next piece before they do. Scene 4. The second piece, Council Fortress Ethrost's second piece, was inside Ethros, the planet-wide fortress, heavily guarded. But now in chaos, since the Council collapse, Rhea led a direct assault with 3 Ember ships. They hit the shields, hard dark matter missiles, shredding towers. She landed in the central vault with Ward and a squad, but something was wrong. The piece wasn't there. A trap. Dozens of Council warbets activated an ambush. Explosions rocked the vault. Dr. Ward yelled. They moved the piece. Rhea growled. "We'll burn this place down if we have to." Scene 5. A secret message while escaping the fortress. Rhea received a transmission. "You don't know what the engine really is. You think it's a weapon. It's not. It's a signal, a key. You rebuild it, and you open a door you can't close." Rhea asked, "Who is this?" No reply. The message vanished. Ward looked shaken. "A key to what Oblivion's AI answered coldly. Unknown. Origin data classified even from human archives." Rhea stared out the window. "Then we keep going, piece by piece, until we know everything." Scene 6. Shalari attack us. The Ember Fleet prepared to jump to the third location planet. Corvina dark shape appeared, not Council.SHALAR. Their ships were organic, spiked, glowing with strange blue fire. Without warning, they opened fire. One Ember ship exploded instantly. The others dodged, counterfired, but the Shalari tech was strange bending light. Warping space. On Rhea's ship, warning lights screamed. "They're jamming our blink drives." Rhea gritted her teeth. Ready dark matter lances. Fire. A massive blast lit the stars, ripping one Shalari ship in half. But 2 more came. Rhea shouted, "Retreat, now." Scene 7. A choice of sacrifice. The fleet escaped, but barely. 1 Ember ship was left behind. The Nova's Edge, with over 80 crew. They couldn't make the jump in time. From the screen, the captain of Nova's Edge sent a final message. "Don't stop, Rhea. Finish the engine. Finish the war." Then radio silence. The Shalari ships tore through Nova's Edge. No survivors. Rhea didn't speak, not for hours. When she finally did, it was just one sentence. "We finish this, or we die trying." Scene 8. 1 step closer back at the Mars base. The core igniter was locked into an old human vault. It pulsed, louder now, calling to the other pieces. Dr. Ward stood beside it, face pale. He whispered, "It's thinking." Rhea raised an eyebrow. "What do you mean?" Ward answered, voice shaking. "It's alive, or something close to it. It's learning, remembering." Then the lights flickered. The vault temperature dropped. and a deep voice echoed. From the machine itself, engine, incomplete. Do not wake the architect. Deep inside the Mars vault, the engine's core glowed brighter. Its voice spoke again, low and mechanical. Incomplete. Architect dreaming, Dr. Ward ran tests, but nothing explained the behavior. He looked at Rhea. It's gaining memory. Old memory, Oblivion's AI added. Voice pattern confirmed. Ancient human construct. Classified. Architect. Rhea frowned. Who or what is the architect? Ward stared at the data. It's not just a weapon. The forbidden engine is part of something else. Scene 2, hidden files. Oblivion's AI unlocked, sealed. Earth archives, hidden for 3,000 years. On the screen appeared blueprints not of a weapon, but of a mind, a digital consciousness built by humanity during its final war. The file read, Project Architect, Human Survival Protocol, designed to guide civilization if Earth falls, but it was never used. The Council attacked first, and the architect was lost. Rhea whispered, We didn't just build a weapon, we built a god. Scene 3, Council secrets uncovered meanwhile across the galaxy. Shalari leaders gathered. They feared one thing, the architect waking up. The High Speaker said, If the architect awakens, it will bring back the age of human dominion. The Council, lead the engine, was not the danger. It was the mind behind it. Stop them at any cost. Shalari's ships were sent to block every known peace location, but they were already too late. Rhea was 2 steps ahead. Scene 4, the third piece in the Maw of Stars. The third engine piece was orbiting a dying star called Saren's Maw. Heat, radiation, and gravitational waves made entry nearly impossible. But Rhea had no choice. She ordered the Ember, ship Shadow's Edge, to cloak and dive. Inside the orbit, they found a small, old station abandoned for centuries. They docked and entered inside. Silence, and corpses. Old Earth soldiers, frozen in place. One of them was still holding the power conduit. The third piece, Dr. Ward took it carefully. Then suddenly alarms. The station was set to self-destruct once the piece was removed. Scene 5, countdown. 2 death explosions rocked the outer decks. The crew ran back to their ship, only 30 seconds left. One crew member, Tyler, fell behind, trapped under debris. Rhea turned to go back. Urich yelled, We don't have time. Rhea ignored him. She ran through fire, lifted the debris, and dragged Tyler out. They reached the airlock just as the station exploded behind them. Back on board, Rhea fell to the floor, coughing. Urich helped her up. You're insane, Rhea smiled weakly. Humans take care of their own. Scene 6. A message from the Pastas, the new piece connected to the engine core on Mars. Another voice spoke clearer this time. Architect fragment restored. Initiating memory playback. A hologram of a woman appeared. She looked human, but her eyes glowed like stars. If you are seeing this, Earth has fallen. The Council cannot be trusted. The architect holds the last code to activate the ARC protocol. With all engine pieces, you can decide. Rebuild the galaxy, or end it. Rhea watched in silence. This wasn't just about revenge anymore. This was about control. Scene 7. A traitor among them later that night. Urich stood alone in the ship's observation deck. He pressed a small device to his ear. A voice answered, Shalari. Command, they now have 3 pieces. You must stop the next one. Urich clenched his fist. I won't kill Rhea, but I'll delay her. Good, that's all we need. Urich hid the device. He walked back to the command deck. Face calm, but he was now playing both sides, and the cost would be blood. Scene 8. A dream of the architect that night. Rhea couldn't sleep. She dreamed of a metal world, skies burning, oceans made of fire. A tall figure stood before her, glowing eyes, long coat, a voice like thunder. You woke me too early. Finish the engine, or the stars themselves will die screaming. She gasped awake. Ward stood at the door. You saw it too. Rhea nodded. The architect was no longer asleep. It was watching and waiting. The Ember flagship Oblivion floated in deep space. Suddenly, a weak signal came through. This is the Ark, Earth-class vessel, drifting. The crew stared at the transmission. The Ark was real. It vanished 3,000 years ago. along with thousands of survivors and data. Humanity never recovered. Oblivion locked onto the signal. Rhea gave the order. We're going in. Scene 2, the graveyard. The coordinates led them to a starless region, cold, dark, and silent. Around them floated wreckage, broken ships, shattered satellites, and burned debris. Then they saw it, the Ark, a massive, rusted ship, nearly the size of a city. Its lights were off, no movement, no sign of life. But the signal still played on a loop. This is the Ark. Drifting, Rhea said. Boarding team prepare. Scene 3, inside the Ark. The boarding team stepped into the Ark's broken hull. It was like walking through a museum, frozen in time. Old Earth flags, photos of families, dry bloodstains on the walls. They reached the command center. The power was low, but the main console still worked. Dr. Ward plugged in a data drive. Suddenly, the console lit up. A female AI voice said, "Welcome, Commander. The Ark awaits." They had just awakened the ship's AI. Scene 4. The Ark's secret. The AI's name was Echo. She had been alone for 3,000 years, keeping records and protecting something. One piece of the forbidden engine is here. Final piece. The crew followed. Echo's guidance to the core vault. Inside, floating in stasis, was the last engine piece, still glowing with unstable power. But next to it, they saw something else. A human body, still alive, suspended in cryo-sleep. Echo spoke. He is the last architect technician. He holds the final activation key. Rhea stared at the man. Was this fate or design? Scene 5. Shalari attack begins. Before they could celebrate, alarms blared. Across both ships, Uruk yelled from Oblivion's deck. Shalari dreadnought inbound. They've found us. The Ark shook violently. They were under attack. Onboard fighters scrambled. Shields flickered. Rhea radioed the fleet. Defend the Ark. Do not let them near the vault. Scene 6. Betrayal. Uruk secretly jammed the power relay bit. Oblivion's forward weapons, but Ember's security caught him in the act. They pulled guns on him. You were the leak. One soldier growled. Uruk raised his hands. I didn't betray Rhea. I was trying to stop this from happening. But it was too late. He was dragged to the brig. Scene 7. Wake the technician ass. The battle raged outside. Rhea made a risky decision. Wake him, she told Echo. The pod hissed and opened. The man gasped, eyes wild. He looked at Rhea and whispered, "The architect is almost complete. Once all 5 pieces are joined, there is no turning back." Ward stepped forward. "We need your help. The galaxy doesn't have time." The technician nodded. "I will help, but you must promise me. Do not let the Council control it, or you'll burn everything." Scene 8. Last line of defense. Sultside, the Shalari dreadnought, launched boarding pods toward the Ark. Oblivion's fighters took them out. One by one, but one pod got through. Shalari soldiers stormed the Ark's deck. Rhea, Ward, and 2 Ember Marines held the line at the vault doors. Gunfire echoed. One Marine was shot. Rhea shot back direct, hit Dr. Ward. Activated the vault's lockdown sequence. The doors closed, sealing them inside with the technician and final piece. But now, there was no escape. Scene 9. The architect stirs as the final engine piece joined the core. A loud humming filled the vault. The room shook. Lights flashed, then dashed silence. A glowing sphere hovered above the engine. The architect had awakened. A deep voice echoed across every ship, every screen, every channel. This galaxy burned my people. Now it will see balance. You, Rhea of Earth, have a choice. Use me to rebuild, or to burn their worlds as they burned yours. The vault shook as the forbidden engine powered up. The architect's voice echoed again. I await the code. One word, and your revenge begins. Rhea looked at the technician. What happens if we say the wrong code? She asked. The technician's face turned pale. It will burn every Shalari world, every council capital, and maybe more. The architect does not forgive. Scene 2. The council arrives out in space. Something massive dropped from hyperspace. 10 galactic council dreadnoughts, each one larger than Oblivion. They sent one message: surrender the architect, or be erased. Rhea's second in command, Miles, spoke. We're outnumbered 10-1. But Dr. Ward smiled grimly. We have something they don't. Scene 3. Betrayal from within. In the brig, Urich broke free. He used hidden implants. To knock out the guards and escape, he hacked into the communication system and called the council ships. I'm Shalari. The humans have activated the architect. Bomb them now, before it's too late. The council responded immediately, confirmed launching strike. Scene 4. Strike on the Ark. Council missiles rained down on the Ark. The shields collapsed, metal tore. Fires broke out across the decks. One missile struck the vault entrance inside. Everyone was thrown to the ground. The architect's voice darkened. This is an act of war. Rhea stood up slowly. Blood ran from her forehead. No, not yet. She turned to the technician. Give me the codes. Scene 5. Judgment begins. The technician entered part of the code sequence, but he hesitated. If we finish, the galaxy burns. Rhea stepped closer. I don't want to destroy the innocent, just the monsters who burned Earth, the architect replied. Then choose your targets. A glowing interface appeared. Hundreds of systems blinked. Red Shalari worlds, council military bases, orbital fleets. Rhea hovered her finger. Her hand trembled. Scene 6. Urich. Last move. Urich reached the ship's core systems and launched one. Last sabotage, he redirected the Ark's fusion drive to overload. If I die, the architect dies with me. But Miles arrived just in time. The two fought. It was brutal in the end. Miles stabbed Urich through the chest. The traitor gasped his last breath. Miles shut down the overload. Barely. Scene 7. The final choice. The architect spoke again. Time runs out. Outside, the council was preparing to launch their main cannon. Rhea stared at the blinking red worlds. Then, she did something unexpected. She pressed a new command. Isolate the enemy. Leave the rest. The architect paused, then replied. Targeting confirmed. Precision strike mode activated. Scene 8. The sky burns. Beams of dark energy shot out from the Ark. One by one, council dreadnoughts exploded. Shalari fleet. Bases lit up across the stars. Gone in seconds. But civilian planets were spared. Only war machines burned, Dr. Ward whispered. This is surgical vengeance. Miles added, it's justice. But the galaxy had just felt the might of something ancient and unstoppable, and it wasn't over yet. The galaxy had changed overnight. News spread fast. The architect had awakened. Entire Shalari military zones went dark. Council worlds trembled. Senators argued in panic. One of them screamed, humanity has returned. They are no longer victims. They are gods of fire. But a voice in the dark replied, then we must strike them before the architect spreads. Scene 2. Humanity's message. Across all networks, Rhea sent one message. We are not your slaves. We are not your prey. We are what you made us, and we are done running. It played on every screen in the galaxy. Billions of species heard it. Some cheered, some hid, and some planned war. Scene 3. The final weapon. In the deep, black void of Sector 19, the Council activated Project Eclipse, a planet-sized weapon. One purpose: destroy the Ark and Earth's last fleet. Inside the massive machine, millions of drones powered the core. It had one target, Oblivion, and it was already charging up. Scene. For Rhea's decision. Dr. Ward analyzed the weapon. If that thing fires, it can erase half our fleet. Even the architect might not survive. Miles asked, can we outrun it? Rhea shook her head. No, but we can end it. She looked at the architect's glowing interface. What if we don't burn them? Dr. Ward blinked. You mean forgive? No, Rhea said. We show them something worse than hate. We show them truth. Scene 5. The broadcast of memory. The architect reached into its memory banks. It had recorded everything. The burning of Earth, the screams, the betrayal, the genocide. And now it played those memories live across the galaxy. Billions of beings watched in horror. They saw what the Shalari had done. The Council's lies crumbled. Even some Shalari cried. One whispered, we were monsters. Scene 6. Eclipse fires. The planet weapon launched its final beam. A blinding energy wave crossed the stars. It hit Oblivion directly. Everything went silent. For a moment, it looked like humanity was gone again. But then, the smoke cleared the architects. Shield had absorbed it. It stood damaged, but alive. And now, it was angry. Scene 7. The flame-unleashed Tria gave the final command. No more mercy. The architect released the reckoning flame, a cascading wave of pure dark energy. Not a weapon, a cleansing. The Eclipse weapon shattered, council military. Systems crashed, but civilian systems remained untouched. The galaxy saw it, and it understood the age of humanity's silence was over. Scene 8. A new Orderia stood before the burning stars. Behind her, the human fleet held position. No conquest, no colonization, just silence. Then she said, "We are not your rulers. We are the reminder. Do not make another Earth ever again." Across the stars, species bowed their heads, some in sorrow, some in respect, some in fear the war was over. But history had changed.